Hi, hello. Welcome again to the official YouTube channel of the New Intelligent Design. Today will be our second video for our documentary about gravity and what is gravity and what is the correct explanation of gravity. When you drop this ball to the ground, we must understand gravity because it's very important. Okay. First, the first that I would like to put into your mind is that the implications of the correct explanation of gravity. Okay? The first implication is that once you understand gravity, you will understand what is a general relativity. Okay? And second, when you understand the topic of gravity correctly, you will understand, for example, what is a black hole, or what is a gravitational wave, or what is a bending of light, or what is reality. It's very important that you understand that. And then another implication, if you have the correct explanation of gravity and the orbit, the revolution, the earth revolves around the sun and everything in space moves. So we must understand that because everything are being affected by gravity. Okay? And then once you understand the topic of gravity, you will understand that our science is probably wrong. Wrong in what? Probably wrong. Wrong in the very basic understanding of realities, especially in the topic of gravity. Some of you may say, hey, don't drop the ball. I'm just making fun of myself, okay? And then the last thing that I will, that the big implication, I think, for the correct explanation of gravity is that once you understand the correct explanation of gravity, you will understand the origin of the universe. You will understand the universe itself. And you will decide if you were taught correctly in science or not. Okay? So this will be the implications if you have the correct explanation of gravity. Now let's review our first video, the first video of our documentary of gravity. And on that time, I dropped this ball probably 29 times. Okay, so I told you on that time, on my first video, that when you drop this ball to the ground, there are three possibilities. The first is that the Earth pull this ball to the ground, and the space push this ball to the ground. Or the third possibility is that the Earth moves toward this ball when you drop this ball to the ground. This will be the three possibilities, the three scenarios that I've told you in my first videos about gravity. And according to Einstein, okay, remember that all credits belong to Einstein, not me. This is not my original idea. I just copied it. I think I understood Einstein. So, according to Einstein, that the reason why this ball falls to the ground because the space is pushing this to the ground. So we are going to study today gravity, and we had concluded on that video that gravity is just simply a squeeze space, or I call it a squeezon. A squeezon. I call it squeezon. Okay, so we are going now to go to this topic, the second topic of gravity, our second video for the documentary of gravity. Okay, so there are many objects around the universe. There are a ball, circular. For example, this one. This is an object, and this is another object. And myself, I'm an object. I'm the object inside a space. So you are an object. All of us here are object. And according to the correct explanation of gravity, that around this object, whether the object is the spherical, cubical, or whatever, according to what we are what we understood about gravity based on Einsteinian gravity, that around this it produces it is squeeze space. When this ball is inside a space, and the surface of this ball there is a squeeze space. This ball, or in this one, there's also a very tiny squeeze space because this one consumes space, or this one, or any object, there are always a squeeze space. So that is the first implication, that the gravity is a squeeze space. It's squeezed. Everything here are being squeezed. Everything here inside it. Everything, every mass, every object inside the space creates squeezing space. Squeeze space or pressurized space, and we call it pressurized space squeezing. Okay, so now we are going to talk about how can we explain further about the squeezer. Okay, so we are going to use this diagram that I have made. If you're going to look, this is the diagram for the sun, and forgive me for my printer is not good. Uh, the sun is one of the object in the universe, especially here. It's very big, and around the sun, there's also a squeeze space, and I call it squeezing, or we call it gravity. This is the sun, okay? And inside the sun, inside the solar system, there are probably 8 or 9 planets. It depends on you. For me, I think 9 planets, including Pluto. Some of you are the ones including Pluto. Is no problem. So, this is how we must explain gravity. This is the sun, and around the sun there's a square space, and we call it gravity. Okay. And then we are going to study about the Earth too. This is the Earth, okay? Almost the same picture like the sun. It's the same because they're almost spherical. And the surface of the Earth, there are always squeeze. There's a minimum, as you can see, in the surface, the maximum is in the surface, and the minimum is outside the space, outside this the limit of the the square space. Okay, so this should be the actual explanation of gravity based on general relativity. But we are going to study more about that. How it's possible. Okay, so we are going to go now to how it is possible that when you drop the ball to the ground, the ball falls to the ground. We are going to see that. Okay, forgive me because in my place there's too windy right now. So this is the picture that I would like to show to you. When you drop this ball, okay, when you drop this ball to the ground, okay, you drop this ball to the ground. This ball, the soccer ball, will going to fall toward the surface of the Earth. If you're going to look at this, you can see that there is a pressurized space above this ball, and this is also a pressurized space here below the ball. And this pressurized space is greater than this pressurized space. I call it Squeezon 2, and this one is Squeezon 1. Meaning Squeezon 2 is stronger than Squeezon 1. That's the reason why this ball falls to the ground. Okay? That's the reason why this ball falls to the ground when you drop the ball to the surface of the Earth. So this is one of the reasons why, I repeat, gravity is just simply a squeeze space or a pressurized space. Okay. Now we are going to see the effect of gravity from the Earth. So we are going to use this. We are here inside the Earth. Okay. We are here in the cell level. So this one is Mount Everest. As you can see, from this one has a maximum squeeze, or we call it maximum gravity. And above this one, there is a minimum gravity. Many people call it. Some people call it. There's a zero gravity. There is no such thing as zero gravity in space because space is space. And when you say zero gravity, meaning zero square space, probably when one galaxy is very far from other galaxy and they have no effect to themselves, they're probably in the middle of that. There is zero gravity, meaning zero square space. But here inside our solar system or inside our Milky Way galaxy, there is no such thing as zero gravity because we are being affected. The Earth is affected by the solar system, by the sun, and the solar system is affected by our galaxy. So there is no such kind of thing as zero gravity. You will only find zero gravity when you are outside space, when one massive, not probably massive, galaxy to other galaxy, very, very far from each other, and there is squeeze in the synapse other. You're in the middle, maybe there is no squeeze space. Okay. So, as you can see, that from the Earth, from for example, when you're here inside the Earth, you have 100% squeeze in. And when you're above the Earth, for example, when you're riding a jumbo jet, you have a 99.6% squeeze in. But when you are in the moon, you have 16.6% squeeze in. So in other words, you are being pressurized by space stronger when you are in the surface of the Earth, and but you have less pressure, less squeeze space when you are above the surface of the Earth. And I would like to tell you that the Earth, okay, first the Earth is has a water, for example, ocean. The Earth has a mountain and there's a land. So it is predicted that if you are standing or if you are in the water, you will experience a less squeezing, few less than when you are in the mountain, when you're in the land. So in other words, squeeze space is based. There are three. There are three. There are three. What should I say? Factor for the squeeze space. First, shape. There are many shapes inside the universe, and then there's also the sizes. Big sizes, small sizes. Normally, big sizes of massive object affect small sizes, and density. So, in other words, a denser object has more squeeze. Don't, for example, the Earth. The Earth, for example, this is a mountain. This is an ocean. So when you're in the ocean, you will experience. You can check it that there is a less squeeze while you're in the land. So in the surface of when there's a land in the Earth. So this is the very explanation of gravity. So once again, I would like to tell you once again that gravity is not a pulling force; it is pushing force, according to Einstein. It was Einstein who had told us that gravity is just a squeezed space. We are being squeezed by space. We are being squeezed by space. That's the reason why you cannot go upward. Because space push you back to the surface of the Earth. So that will be our second topic for today, for our documentary about gravity. And the next documentary that I'm going to tell you will be the erroneous. There are many scientists who have erroneous explanation and representation description of gravity, and we are going to explain that for our third video. But for now, our topic for today is for a squeezon. Gravity is not graviton. Gravity is simply a squeezon. And if you agree with that, I think you are wrong. You are wrong, and our science is wrong, and you must change your understanding about gravity and about reality. Thank you for coming today, and I hope that you learned something here. And I'll be uploading more about many more videos. And I hope that the whole world will going to know what is the right science, the right explanation in physics and astronomy and cosmology. Thank you, and see you again for my third video for this documentary about gravity. And I hope that you will enjoy my other videos. Thank you, and see you again.